What's up? Welcome back to Cryptographics. And today, guys, we're going to be doing a live stream where we're going to go into the Icosa testnet and we're going to go over everything to do with how to stake your Icosa, how to stake Hedron, the Whatsa pool, all the source address pool, as well as HSIs, and have a big Q&A where we go over and prepare you for when Icosa launches this coming Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So before we get in, I want to just welcome everyone that's in the chat real quick. See a few people crawling in here. We got 15 people. I see Godfather J6, my man. Good to see you back. Thanks for being in all these recent streams. Godfather J6 says, yo, what up, everybody? We Fish, love these new projects being built for the Hex community. They're so awesome. I'm particularly excited about this one, if you can't tell, but I'm loving what's been going on within the Hex community here. So welcome, We Fish. I've got Giffer. What's up, bro? I hope you're having a good day. Thanks for being here, buddy. Let's go. Let's get people educated. Let's get everyone prepared for the launch of Icosa. Hexkin Wrestler. Haven't seen you here before. Welcome. Hello, hello. Got Crypto Cashew. What's up? What's up? And just getting ready for a great stream. Guys, if you have any questions while we're going or things come up, throw them in chat. If I don't get to them right away, I will star them and I will go back and I will answer them. So if there's something specific that you want to know, fire it to me now and I'll get that started off to the side. And as we go through, I will be checking to see or remembering where these these questions are. And I'll bring them up as we go through. So it's kind of like a nice smooth phase throughout this entire live stream here. Let's keep going though. Susie Q. Hi, wonderful. Hey, hi to you too. Thank you. Hope you're having a great day. Let's see. We got Frederick Hansen. Hey, Hedron to the moon. Let's go, man. Yeah, Hedron's been on a tear right now. I think we're almost at a 3, getting rid of that 2, which has been amazing. I'm running out of room for these money printers. Man, you got to make more storage room. This isn't the end, I don't think. We got Crystal, the Goddess Trader. What's up? Welcome. So glad to see everyone here. Okay, awesome. Well, okay, this is a great question. So what exactly is Icosa? Let's get all of this groundwork covered here so we understand exactly what we're going into. If you haven't heard, you maybe heard of Hedron and you haven't heard of Icosa. So Hedron obviously is like a token that you could mint based on staking Hex. Now you can obviously buy on the market, but for every B share you get, for a T share, one full T share staked of Hex is equivalent to 1,000 B shares, right? So it's 1 billion shares versus 1 trillion shares. So you get 1,000 B shares for a T share, which means you get, for every B share you have, you can mint that number of Hedron in a single day. So that's Hedron. You're able to mint it for, not for free, but for the price of gas, but you can mint it every day if you wanted to. But Icosa, normally what happened, and there was why the backlash was happening for Hedron, was there really wasn't a use case for Hedron yet. And what Icosa is that use case. So Hedron before was considered a big dump token, but now what you can do, or what you're going to be able to do this coming Sunday, starting at 5 Pacific and 8 Eastern Standard Time, or midnight UTC on the 15th, what you're going to be able to do is take those coins that are virtually free, or if you bought them, and you're going to be able to stake them, kind of like Hex. You can stake them now. Unlike Hex, there is a minimum stake length based on the size of the stake, instead of a maximum length stake. As well as, like, you don't have to set a time that you can stick to. You can have a minimum and let it go for decades if you wanted to. It could literally go for 125, 300,000 years, assuming everything was working as it is today, which is kind of a cool thought. So you can also add to stakes as well. It restarts your minimum time, but you can do that as well. So this is the utility now that Hedron has been searching for. And what's great is, like the name, Icosa, the staking platform itself brings along with it another token, because in that Hedron staking pool, you're not actually earning Hedron, you're earning Icosa, the new token, where there's 2 ways, or there's going to be 2 ways initially to get it. Well, 3, I guess, technically. But 4. We'll stick with 3 just to make it easier. So the first way, assuming this is ever even available within the first number of days or weeks, is to market buy it. But this is a big variable. We don't know if this is going to happen or when it's going to happen specifically. The big and easiest way is Now, what we can do, I'm actually going to go and share my screen here so we can go to E. And if you want to go ahead and follow along here as well, I would love that. So you can go along with me. You can have questions while we're both doing this, and make sure that you're completely up to speed here. So let me just get my screen up. Let's go Chrome tab, Icosa, Hedron. So I'm going to put this link in the chat. And if you want to follow along with me here, please do. Now, this is the Hex tab. So this is all on Pulse Chain testnet. This is not Ethereum. This is not live. This will be the same address for when the Ethereum version goes live. But for now, only Pulse Chain is active, the Pulse Chain testnet. So again, I just put the link in the chat. And now let's go over here. So on the left-hand side, there are 3 tabs. One for Hex, which is where you'll actually be able to come in here and create a stake, which is the HSI, which if you're wondering what that is, I'll bring up to speed really quick. Think of it like you're able to, instead of when you stake through go.hex.com, you're locked there. So whatever wallet you're tied to, you are stuck to that wallet for a year or 15 or anything in between, and you can't move it around. With this, if you stake in this app, then the Icosa app, then you're going to be able to move that stake, because what's happened is to put it simply, the protocol or this application wraps it and allows you to move that stake from wallet to wallet, or even sell it if you so choose. So the HSI is a very powerful tool, and it's sold on the market kind of on OpenSea. It's like an NFT. Like, it's sold in the same way that a Bored Ape or a Squishy Squad or any of those NFTs would be sold on the market. But the difference is that you also have the underlying asset underneath the token or whatever picture that it has. So this is the first tab where you're able to do this. And like I was saying before, once you've done this, this is actually how the primary way that you'll be able to get Icosa on the market. So once you've created or not on the market, sorry, that you'll be able to mint Icosa. So once you've created a stake and you have through an HSI, so through this, you've created a stake. Now from there, what you would do is you go to the Icosa tab. Now the Hedron tab, I actually I haven't realized what the difference is between the Hex and the Hedron tab yet, to be honest. So I'm going to wait. This might just be, yeah, we're going to skip this for now. The Icosa tab is the one we're really here for, though. So once you have an HSI, then you come all the way down here, and there's this HSI buyback option. So what it allows you to do is, if you have HSI stakes, then you can click this sell all button here, and this little menu is going to pop up. You put number of HSIs. If you only have one, you press 1. If you have two, or however many you want to sell. And once you do that, it's going to tell you the total Icosa value that you're going to get. Now, this is the primary way, or the fastest way, to get Icosa, because again, we're not sure if it's going to be on the market right away. Like, if someone with a massive amount of Hex comes in and buys or creates an HSI and then moves that HSI into the protocol as a buyback to get a lot of Icosa, and then uses that for liquidity in a liquidity pool, maybe then there's a market, or there's a liquidity pool created for it. But unless that happens, it's really hard to say if there will be any liquidity. So this is going to be the primary way, the safest bet to get your Icosa, if you're looking for, instantaneously. All right. So before I move on to everything else, because I kind of said a lot there, I'm going to check in with chat real quick and make sure. Holy crap, we got Silver the Antidote in here. Sorry, guys. I'm going to go back to where I was real quick. But man, Silver, thank you. You're dope. And thank you for what you do. I've been seeing what you're doing on Twitter. I came across your name many months ago, but I just out of the way I had been kind of looking for my information, I hadn't seen a lot of what you've been doing. But now that I found you again, and actually followed you on Twitter recently, man, I'm glad that I did. And if you haven't, please go to Twitter, follow Silver the Antidote. I believe he has a YouTube channel as well. The guy is on it. He's very, very, very into what is going on with Hedron and Hex, and in tune, I should say. So please give him a follow if you want to get some high level vantage points on what's going on with the ecosystem price performance between these different assets we're talking about. So Silver, my dude, thank you. That's incredible. Okay, where was I here with the previous ones? Let me just go back. Yeah, so we're going to pause here and just talk about something that came up. There's what's called a proof of benevolence function within the code of Hedron. Now, what that means is someone can go and send Hedron to that function, which burns all of that Hedron from supply. Now, yesterday, the SA, like the origin address, but in Hedron, went and burned another trillion of tokens. So now the total that's been burned is around 22 million ish, or 22 trillion, sorry. And the crazy thing is that 22 trillion tokens or more is actually going to end up funding both the Icosa Hedron and Whatsa pools, but will also contribute directly to how much Hedron is able to be minted or earned as yield in the Icosa pool. So lots of yield going to be coming in the first few days, weeks, and maybe even months for all of the Icosa stakers, Hedron stakers, and Whatsa owners. So, hey, we got Crypto Stylist in here. What's up, Crypto Stylist? It's so good to see you again. I hope you're well. Yeah, so excited for Sunday Icosa launch. That makes two of us. And I think because there's so many of us in here already, that makes a lot of us that are excited. I know RH Max is excited. What's up, brother? I hope you're doing well. Hope your stream I'm not sure if you're already streamed. No, I think you streamed at 3 today. I hope your stream went well yesterday. Or no, was it yesterday? With Dylan Fiat and Nerd Girl today. Hedron tab is for HSI, right? Hex tab, you make a native stake if you want. Right. I see. So you have the option then in the Hedron tab to make the HSI, and in the Hex tab, you can make a native stake if you want. I like that. Okay. Hey, appreciate that, man. I really appreciate that. Just trying to, do what I can to help the community, because the community's helped me so much learn, and such an amazing community. It really is. Yeah. Silver's the man. Let's see here. Yo, we got Crypto Vince in here. What's up, brother? Guys, if you don't know, so I have a stream going on tomorrow night as well, and we're going to continue on with this in just a second with the breakdown and the walkthrough. But Crypto Vince is going to be coming on tomorrow with a few others, and we're going to be talking in-depth game theory of this whole ecosystem. Icosa staking, Hedron staking, Whatsa NFTs, strategies, arbitrage, everything. And if what I've said either goes over your head, intrigues you, or really interests you, you're going to want to watch tomorrow, because it's going to be a great stream. Let's see. Peace and prosperity, friends. The Church of Universal Oneness. I love that name. I really do. Good to see you in here, my friend. Let's see. Captain T. So I have Hedron. If I want Icosa, I would create a HSI to be able to mint Icosa. Sorry, completely into this. Yeah, exactly. So if you want Icosa immediately, and you don't want to wait to see if there's either market or market availability, or you don't want to wait at least 30 days for your first Hedron stake to end to get your, Icosa, you have to create an HSI and sell it to the smart contract. That is the only way to do it. And a 5555 stake, so Quattro Cinco Hex stake, gets 10% bonus for any HSI that you sell back to the contract. So that's a big thing. Again, if you do a 5555 stake and sell it to the contract, you're going to get a 10% bonus on whatever Icosa you would normally get. So that's huge. 10% is a pretty big bonus, actually. And let's see. Great question. So Crypto Stylist says, can you buy multiple Whatsa NFTs from the same wallet? Yes. And we're not going to get really into strategies today. I'm actually going to record a video tonight on some Whatsa NFT video, or some Whatsa NFT strategies. So that way for the stream later on that night, we're all kind of primed, like I've done for the Icosa and Hedron staking pools. We're all kind of primed and ready for some game theory type thinking from all fronts. So we can really go deep on that stream. So that should be out probably tomorrow morning. I don't think I'm going to release it tonight, because I have to record it, edit it, and everything. And I want this stream to breathe a little bit, so that way I get some more views. I'm going to keep going down a little bit further here. But yeah, okay, awesome. I think we're all caught up. And yeah, I think, okay, amazing. All right, let's get back into it, guys. So I'm actually going to hide my. Oh, is my. Did I? Oh, God. No, I didn't realize that. Oh, man. All right. Well, you guys missed out. I just dropped some serious alpha and I'm not repeating that. I can't do it. It was too hot. Oh, no. Oh, that's so funny. Rip. Okay. Nice. So we're back. So I'm going to go through that all again. Okay. Note to self. I don't know how to hide my face when actually I can just do this. Oh, yeah. Wow. I hope you guys can hear me now. I'm going to pause for a sec. You couldn't even read the lips. Oh my God. I love it. Okay. Drop a one if you can hear me. I want to make sure before I start going off again, you can hear me now that I've moved myself off screen. Okay. We can hear you. Sweet. Okay. So in here, I don't even, okay. I'm going to start from the beginning. So once you have your Icosa and you want to stake it, obviously you have a couple choices and there's some reasons why you might not want to stake all of it. Again, if you watch my previous video on the best or possibly best staking strategy for Icosa and Hedron, you'll know that there are some strategies and some reasons why you wouldn't want to just dump all your tokens in. Maybe you do. There are some reasons why it makes sense. But at least maybe keeping some liquid on the side, like 5 or 10%. But anyways, when you do have that amount of Icosa that you do want to stake in this pool, the crazy thing is here that you're going to be earning both Icosa and Hedron. And especially in the first number of days, the Hedron yield is coming directly from that 21 or 22 trillion that I mentioned before. So here's how it works. That 21 or 22 trillion is basically divided up over the course of a year. And every day over that year, an even number within that is given. So roughly speaking, at the last I checked, it's about 57 billion Hedron tokens are going to be distributed into the pool every single day. And that's not including any other Hedron that's burned for any other reason on a daily basis. So think about that. 57, roughly speaking. It'll fluctuate because I think it was a little bit higher, a little bit lower number that I did the math on. But roughly, even between 50 and 60 billion tokens per day is going to be given per yield distributed evenly throughout this pool over 365 days. And what that means is 21, how's it going to work? Basically, that number is going to contribute to how much Icosa yield will be generated as well, which is going to be nuts. So this pool is going to be super lucrative. And all of the amount of Icosa that's going in here is also going to be going into the Hedron staking pool, as well as the same amount. It's not like they're split evenly. It's what this pool gets the entire amount used in the calculation. Hedron gets the Hedron staking pool gets the entire amount in the calculation. And then finally, the what we are all the source address gets the same amount of Icosa based on the entire calculation. So Icosa staking is going to be crazy. Hedron staking is going to be crazy and lucrative. And what we'll get to in a minute, which is the we are all the SA, is also going to be crazy. Now, again, like I said, there's some strategies that you can do for the Icosa staking and there's reasons why you would want to do different strategies. I mean, you don't want to just arbitrarily do something without having a direct thought process on why you would want to have access to funds in maybe 30 or 90 or 180 or 240 days specifically by breaking up your funds. And there's many ways to break it up. Like maybe you want to go, 360 days for your majority. And you also want to do a little 90-day stake because you know that on day 90, all of the liquidation auctions that are coming out from the HSI buybacks, which I can go back and I can fully explain if this isn't clear enough already. But on day 91, I believe it is, all of the auctions for those HSI buybacks that were sold to the contract are going to go up. So you'll have Hedron then from your yield that you can then use to buy those HSIs if you so choose. This means two things. One is that you're getting your hex back. Two is that it's contributing to the Hedron burned, which is increasing Hedron yield, and it's also increasing the Icosa yield. And that's a big thing. So having a 90-day stake could be a very, very important strategy. And maybe you go all in on 90 days. Maybe that's the most you have is 90 days, which is perfect. And so there's lots of ways to think about this. And there's lots of little reasons why you'd want to really think through the system and what's going on before you stake, so you understand and you're strategically allowing yield to come out whenever you need it, or strategically whenever you need it. And the reasons why you maybe want to have liquid Icosa or unstaked Icosa would be because there's an arbitrage point that I talked about in previous videos and previous streams. And one of the things I saw a comment and got sidetracked here. The arbitrage point, right? Let me bring my face back on screen here. So with this arbitrage point, what I'm talking about is when, let's say, a stake cost to mint one T share of 5555 or like a 5555 stake would cost you $480, right? And with that stake, you could mint, let's say, 24 Icosa or 242 Icosa, right? So roughly speaking, that's $2 for an Icosa. That's what it would equate to roughly. So if Icosa on the market, assuming it's on the market, goes above $2, it actually makes more sense to buy Hex to mint Icosa than to buy Icosa on the market. So what happens here is you buy Hex, you stake it through an HSI, you mint Icosa, you sell the Icosa on the market because there's a difference in price. So you make a profit on that. Then you buy a bigger amount of Hex or a larger amount of Hex to stake that to get even more Icosa than you originally got. And you continue this cycle over and over and over, and you'll make a massive profit or even a gain on the amount of tokens that you had originally. So this is one reason alone. And there's this instance where this happens for Hedron as well. So staking all of your tokens might not be the best strategy. Keeping some on the side is a great idea. And secondarily, even aside from this arbitrage opportunity, if let's say you put an amount in these pools and in 2 weeks, all of a sudden you realize that, like, because if we go to, you can see here the pool ownership, the highlighted part here, it'll show you, like, let's say you drop a full tier, but you still have to stake you still have a 360-day stake. Well, by having some liquid, what you can do is you can restart your stake. So that way, boom, all of a sudden you get knocked down to that next tier. If you can even use like 1 Icosa or whatever amount you want to use. But by having some liquid on the side and available, you can take advantage of these opportunities and strategically use your Icosa to get yourself in a better position as far as minimum days you need to serve or arbitrage points. So as you can see, there's a lot to consider, and having some liquid may be a great strategy. And even maybe doing the staking waterfall, which again, I mentioned in the previous video that I did, which if you haven't watched it, I highly recommend you go and do. But before we go any further, I'm going to just cover the comments real quick, and I'm going to see what everyone's saying. And guys, if you have any questions about what I've just gone over, please let me know. And then we'll continue. We'll start to go into the We Are All the source address staking pool as well, or the NFT staking pool. Hexographer, my brother. Seems like using Hex to make an HSI for Icosa is a better play than just staking Hedron. I need to find holes in my reasoning because it's probably wrong. Well, here's the thing about the strategy. Well, the difference between Hedron and Icosa, it depends. Like maybe Icosa gets way more people than anticipated. Maybe Hedron gets way less. So maybe the benefit of being bigger in the Hedron staking pool is you just get more yield because you're a bigger player in the pool. There are a lot of different factors, and this is going to be a great question, which I think Gifford has some really great answers, which he'll be on stream tomorrow night to go over game theory. And I'd love to get him to answer this because he worded it so well, and I don't think I could word it quite as well as he did. But basically, you might get more in the Hedron staking pools. It really depends. There seems like a lot of people are wanting to go in the Icosa pool. And while that's cool because it shows how lucrative it might be, it also points to where you might not want to go and where other opportunities might be if other people aren't going there. Just food for thought. It might not be that, but still something to think about. Let's see here. Yeah. So Silver the Antidote says, I dropped an ultra alpha guide for massive. What's a dollar value in Twitter? Take a read for your show tomorrow. I definitely will. I kind of skimmed it while I was getting ready for this, but I definitely need to fully understand that. And again, thank you for all you've been doing with the Hedron as well. You've been posting some seriously good stuff. So it's been great. Short story, convert all the Hex and buy Hedron right now. Hey, fair enough. Fair enough. I'm going to look into it. I haven't really done enough due diligence on that, but it's interesting. All right. Let's see. So again, R23, I'm going to go over the Whatsa in a minute, but before we do there, actually, let me just start your question here because I'm going to get there soon and we're going to go over what the Whatsa is. But we'll get there soon. Need a whale to dump though. Hex hodl. Yeah. Well, I mean, not sure why you're saying that. Maybe I'm missing something here, or maybe this is part of a previous conversation. Godfather J6 says, how do we know how much Hedron we need to stake to get the 5, 10, 15%, 20% bonus levels for whales, sharks, etc.? Great question. So you're really not going to know right away because if you're first in the pool or you're one of the first people in the pool, you're just going to be stuck with that 360-day stake. But the way the actual bonus is calculated is at the end of the stake. So let's say you serve that 360-day stake right? But by the end, you're not even a squid because you've been diluted so much because so many people have entered the pool. Well, you don't get any bonus and you serve 360 days. So what you need to be doing is in the tab, you need to be constantly monitoring it for one. And it's kind of sucks, for people who just want to set it and forget it, which there's nothing wrong with setting it and forgetting it. Like worst case, you serve a year and you still get a bunch of yield, right? But if you're monitoring it and you did start as a whale, you're going to want to monitor it so that way you can continuously change your position and your minimum if you keep seeing yourself moving down the ranks as far as your pool ownership. So that is something to consider. But you're going to have to monitor it or keep adding to it in order to not get diluted, which if you're staking, the one cool thing about staking Hedron and Icosa at the same time is that you're earning Icosa, which from both pools, and you're earning Hedron from one. So you can keep funneling in your accumulated Hedron yield into the Hedron staking to keep getting yourself, or to not let yourself get diluted. And then both the yield from Icosa and Hedron could end up in the Icosa staking pool, which you're kind of doubling down on not getting diluted in both pools, really, which is really cool. So as much as it seems like, yeah, maybe I should just go all into one, it also makes sense to go into two, and maybe not 50-50, maybe 60-40, maybe 70-30. It really depends on what you think will happen. Like if you think that the amount of Hedron that's going to be given in yield is going to be a lot, then maybe getting into the Icosa staking pool is better because then Icosa and Hedron are both what you get in yield and not just Icosa. But maybe you also think that the Hedron staking pool is going to be tiny in comparison to the amount of people in it. And so you get more Icosa in that pool. It really depends on how you look at the situation unfolding. So great question though. Thanks for that. Daniel Polk says, always where you see no lemmings, I will not give away 10x HSI stakes for 10% bonus. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one because, if 10x is the difference between like you getting a 40 million versus 400 million, I mean, if it's 400, let's say you have 400 million normally that you get from your stake and now it's 4 billion. Well, if that 10x bonus is, if you hold on to it and you keep that 10x bonus, you're going to get, let's say you get 4 billion Hedron from that and you get your hex stake. Well, what if you turn that hex stake into Icosa, and that Icosa produces over the course of, let's say, because it's a 10x stake and it's a big one, hypothetically speaking, that you get multiple thousands of Icosa. And next thing you know, because of the amount of Hedron yield coming in, you actually got more Hedron than you originally were going to, or would have had you just held on to the stake. And your Icosa also is growing in value as well. So it's hard to say. I mean, it totally depends on where you see the value of each thing going. Like if you just think that your hex stake is the most valuable thing in the world and you'll take what you can get from your 10x HSI, then yeah, never get rid of it. But if you think there's a value proposition and there's potentially more Hedron and you're just looking for the quick, like the asset that might appreciate the quickest, which there's not really a great argument for or against Icosa or Hex being like the faster accelerating price appreciating asset. And I don't think really that's the healthiest way to look at it, but you never know. What I'm trying to say here, there are many ways to look at this. And there's no right answer and there's no wrong answer. There's just what fits best for you and what you think, because there's just so many uncertainties within this ecosystem that'll happen. Let's see here. Yeah, guys, if you're here right now, there's 98 of you in here. I would absolutely love if all of you could hit the likes. I don't have this stream up. I will go to YouTube real quick and just check to see how many views we've got. 99 watching. We've got 57 likes. Guys, let's get the likes up to, let's get to 80 likes. That would be amazing. Really appreciate that. It helps the algorithm, helps people see this and get people learning about Icosa. Because guys, the Icosa platform is launching again on Sunday. We got to get everyone educated so that way they know how to use this platform as best as possible. Let's see here. Okay, so what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to go through the Whatsa pool, the we are all the source address pool. So like it says here, this is a private Icosa yield pool for those who mint the we are all the source address NFTs during the first 14 days of Icosa's launch. So what that means, and let me just pull it up real quick here. Give me 2 seconds here. Okay. Yeah. So in order to participate in this, what you do is you send USDC, ETH, Hedron, Maxi, and of course Hex, all to this address. Now, what you'll see is the minting has ended for the testnet, so I can't even do it right now because 14 days is over. But what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to send one of those to this contract, and you're going to get points. Now, those points, there's a total, like as you can see here, the pool size is 40 trillion points. So when you send $1, you'll get a certain amount of points that will be attached to an NFT that you will own and will be a representation of your stake or the amount of pool ownership you have. So let's say you have 10% of the pool, just to make things easy. That means every single day, so like we said before, the amount of Icosa that the Icosa staking pool gets is the same amount as what the Hedron staking pool gets, and is also what the Whatsa pool gets. Now, the difference between these pools is you can't add to the stake. You can only claim your yield and increase everyone else's position. Like once the 14 days is up here, you can never get back in. You can never get in additionally. You can only either buy someone's NFT or you're just SOL. So when you do this, you send dollars to this contract, and it's going to mint you an NFT that has a number of points attached to it, which is worth your percentage of the pool ownership. Now, every single day, you're going to get that percentage of the total Icosa yield. And as people exit the pool, like if you listen to Crypto Sloth or Alex, the founder, or anyone that's been talking about this, it's kind of like a game of last man standing. So every time someone claims their yield, this pool, but they burn their NFT. They completely get rid of their NFT and make it so that everyone else's share of the pool grows just a little bit. And over time, as more and more people burn their NFTs, assuming that they do, your share of the pool will grow. Now, like I said, it's a game of last man standing. So if you make it to the end, you're going to be having a very, very large percentage of the pool and getting a very large percentage of the Icosa yield daily. Now, something to consider here is unlike normal NFTs where there's just an image, these actually are, and the value is based off of like the collection and the artist and all of that. Really, the value of this NFT is very different. It's not speculative. It's not based on what someone thinks it's worth. It's worth the yield that's already earned and what's increased and the yield that's coming in the future. So it is a legitimate value. It's an NFT that has value locked into it that is always growing and never devaluing. So this could be something that people either in the future use as maybe collateral because it's never going down in price. I mean, maybe it stays stagnant, maybe it goes down a tiny bit if it's like a huge crash in Icosa, but there's the potential for people to never burn these, or for a majority of people to never burn these and either sell them, or maybe if it's possible, use them as collateral. I don't know if there'd ever be a way to like stake them on some platform in the future. Who knows? But these are going to be very valuable NFTs over time, especially if you're still in the pool months and years into when this is existing, right? So this is a really cool opportunity, and it's very exclusive. It's exclusive to the people who are here now and here early and have been paying attention. So again, there's 14 days. That's it. When it's over, it's over. You can't get in. You can never put another dollar into this pool. You can only buy another person's NFT. So before I go any further, I'm going to check in with chat and just make sure that everyone's on the same page here. And also, before I go back, Hex Hodl, great point. All of this, every single thing that we're talking about here gets a copy on Pulse. If you have a Whatsa NFT, it gets copied. If you have an Icosa stake, it gets copied. If you have liquid Icosa, it gets copied. If you have a Hedron stake, it gets copied. If you have Hedron or liquid Icosa, it gets copied. If you have anything with this platform, it gets copied over to the Pulse chain when that goes live. You will get a duplicate. So this is really, really cool. And let's just go back, and I want to check in. Daniel Polk says, love your interaction with chat. I appreciate that, man. I'm just trying to make sure everyone's up to date and understanding. Man, there's just so much cool stuff going on right now, especially with this. I love the Icosa and Hedron platform personally. I think it's really great and really great for Hex. And yeah, the Whatsa is really cool. Is it good to buy Hex and send the Hex? That's up for you to decide. I can't tell you what not to do. I can only tell you strategies and reasons why or why not it makes sense, or counters to those strategies. Susie Q, thank you. I appreciate that. And share the guys. If you can retweet this out, that would mean the world to me. So that way other people can find this and learn about what's coming, get prepared, even if they're a little bit late to the party. Great stream of sound on. Oh man, I know. I'm not going to live that down, aren't I? Or am I? Hexiest man in the world. Dang, I'm getting here late. Love your videos, man. Hey, I appreciate that. And thank you for being here. I'm glad you found value in them. Sounds like you've learned something, which is awesome. Always makes me happy that these videos are doing something for you. Alex is brilliant, and he doesn't get enough. I mean, okay, he's been getting credit lately, a lot of credit, but still, I think that he's amazing. What he's been able to do and create is awesome. I know it's built off of Hex, but that takes some serious creativity, work ethic, and dedication to create all this. So, man, Alex is GOAT. He's amazing. That would be amazing. Yeah, guys, if you can tweet the video out, it would mean the world to me. Let's get as many people educated on the system as possible. The Harmonic Hexagon says, is there expected pullback on the price of Icosa or okay to FOMO on day one? Well, let's walk through that quickly because that's actually a really good question. If you are getting Icosa from HSI buybacks, that means you actually paid a specific price for that Icosa. Now, why would anyone who pays, let's say $2 per Icosa, sell it for less when they provide liquidity? If they're creating that primary liquidity pair, why would they create a pair that's less valuable than $2? If anything, it's going to be more. How much more? Who knows? Maybe it's $2.50, assuming the price is $2, right? Maybe it's $2.50. Maybe it's, and when I say $2 as well, I mean like the actual value of, like, if you break down the cost of the share, how much it costs you to make that stake, and then how many Icosa you got, the divisible amount that you get per Icosa would be, let's say, $2, right? On $485 stake. But if you're providing liquidity, you have the option to start it higher. And why would you sell it for anywhere that could make you lose out on your investment quickly? Like, wouldn't you want to start it in a place where you're not losing money right away on your investment? Because that means you just gave up a bunch of money. You just threw away an HSI, which could be worth a lot very quickly. And you're down on your investment. That would suck. So it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense for Icosa to start very low. It makes a lot of sense for Icosa to start higher than what, at least at, but not too much higher maybe than what Icosa would be worth when you do the math for selling an HSI to the contract. Let's see. Daniel Polk says, the rarest NFT in the world, and in 24, they will kneel before the owner of that NFT. Hey, if there's some existing, those people are going to be rich. They're going to be loaded. It's a crazy thought. But I mean, again, like, this is something that you guys should consider, like, maybe in the future, if you can completely in line with, I'm going to dart off here for a second. If we look at the ethos of Hex and the underlying premise of why you should stake Hex is delaying gratification to protect yourself from yourself in a lot of ways. And one of the things you could do here is, and I'm going to give away this strategy before the video I'm going to release tomorrow. But you can use delayed gratification with the NFTs as well. Similar to Hex, how you can create a staking ladder. Now, this involves a little more accountability than a truth engine holding you accountable and removing your principal or your yield, depending on when you don't actually fulfill what you've said. But you could create an NFT ladder. Now you could create an NFT ladder where, let's say you mint 15 NFTs, and on your birthday every single year, you're going to take out one NFT, or you're going to burn one. You could do this to delay gratification, so that way by the 15th year, that one's grown substantially, and you are still delaying gratification and allowing things to grow. What you could also do is do a staking ladder and then do like what's called a moon bag, or just a big old NFT purchase, and you just let it sit. And maybe that's the one that when the option for creating or using that NFT as collateral comes around, you can use it for, or whatever other opportunities are there specifically for the NFT. There's so much potential in the future for what something of that amount of value could hold. I mean, why would you want to sell it? I think that if you're getting into this pool, you should have one that you're just going to absolutely sit on and wait. If that was me, I'm not giving you advice, but a strategy I think is very great is to put an amount in that if you forgot about it and in 20 years you remembered, it wouldn't bother you in the meantime, but when you found it again, you'd be like, holy crap, this is incredible. So that's a little something, and how to think about these NFTs and how to think about them long-term too. Because it's nice to think, oh yeah, in a year I could make like maybe 50,000 Icosa, or maybe 1,000 or whatever. If you forget about it, maybe you come back to it, it's in the hundreds or millions of Icosa. Who knows, right? Depends on how long you wait and what percentage of the pool you own by then. Oh, bro, iBrain. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Let's see here. I think I just answered kind of what one of my strategies are going to be for the Whatsa pool. I'm probably not going to put in a lot. I kind of have my own thing. I like the Icosa pool personally, just because of my situation, and I like to set it and forget it. And so that's going to be kind of my thing in the Icosa pool. So Kaiser says, so the only ways to get Icosa on day one are sending in an HSI to the buyback contract and buying Whatsa NFT, right? So if you want to get Icosa on day one, you have to send an HSI to the buyback contract. If you're getting into the Whatsa pool, it's the same thing essentially as the Icosa pool. Getting in, you have to wait till either your minimum stake is up, or you have to burn your NFT to retrieve your yield. So if you want Icosa day one that's liquid, you have to send an HSI into the buyback. Hexagon Wrestler says, did you say you could be diluted just by staking Hedron only? Yes, because let's say if you stake on day one, and let's say you have 500 million Hedron, right? Or let's say you have 100 million. You have 100 million Hedron, but you're like one of the first people in the pool. Well, by day two and everyone else is in the pool, you started because you're the first person in the pool as the whale in the pool. But as everyone else came in, your amount in the pool keeps shrinking as more people come into the pool. So you could be diluted by just staking Hedron. Yes, very easily. As more people, because there's a lot of people that are waiting to mint their Hedron or maybe wait to buy. Those people eventually will come in, and obviously if you're earlier, you're going to probably have more Hedron than most people just because you got in earlier. And the prices by then are probably going to be a lot higher, I would speculate. But you will and can still get diluted in the Hedron pool. Yes. Hexius Man in the World. I just did. Yes. I think I'm actually 5 minutes behind on comments. Nice. Okay. I'm going to skip ahead, so we're a little more current here, I think. Actually, no, that is pretty close, actually. So I hope I answered your question, Hexius Man in the World. Let's see. For the first days, what's NFT is staking Icosa? I think I'm not sure. Yeah, okay. Let's see here. Wes says, like, forgetting about it, finding 10 BC 10 years. Exactly. That would be sweet, wouldn't it be? So I think it's something to consider as far as strategies. You know, you can use, and here's let's keep talking about the Whatsa NFT for a second here. So what are the things that are going to happen in the staking platform? So we know that in the beginning, there's going to be a lot of like hyperinflation, essentially, because of the participation and the amount of Hedron that's been previously burned by the proof of benevolence function, which means someone can go in, like the SA, the source address can go and burn a bunch of Hedron if it wants to, or anyone can do this. And if they do that, by the way, so if someone goes in, because anyone can do this, that means a whale of Hedron or a squid, someone can just go and take their Hedron and send it to the proof of benevolence function that I mentioned near the beginning of the stream. And that goes to everybody in the Icosa pool, evenly distributed. And like the 21 trillion that I mentioned, or 22 trillion, it's divided up evenly over the course of a year. So anyone can do that. Anyone, which is really, really cool. Where was I going with this? Right, with the Whatsa. Another thing to think about too is when day 90, so yeah, in the beginning, there's a hyperinflationary period. And that's partly due to the Hedron burn, but also because of the amount of HSIs that are going to be created on that day. And so, well, sort of. The HSIs, the big thing with the HSIs is that everything that comes in the form of an HSI is going to auction. Okay. That means around day 90, there's going to be a ton of HSIs that are available to be purchased. Now, what you might want to do is have a 90-day Whatsa, so that way, if it makes sense for you to have enough yield to then extract the Icosa and maybe switch it for Hedron to then buy a hex stake, you can do that and you can take advantage of that. Or maybe it means that on day 90, because the amount of Hedron that's going to be burned during those auctions are going to be crazy, which means the amount of Icosa that is going to be going to those pools is increased. So maybe what you want to do is you want to double down on the Icosa stake to increase your position in that pool with that smaller NFT, or by burning the smaller NFT. And you want to add that Icosa to the Icosa staking pool to get even more than you would have got before. Like, there's a lot of different ways to play this. So if you're following, great. If not, drop a question and where I can explain a little bit better. Let's see here. Peso dude, thank you. I appreciate that. You win informative stream of the week. Thanks for all you do. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. I want so bad for everyone to be able to understand that there's some huge opportunity here. And even if you participate even a little bit, I think you'll benefit a lot. As long as you see and you understand the information that I'm giving you, and that you are making your own decisions and not basing them just off mine. Take what I'm giving you, run with it, do more research, make sure that I'm actually telling you what's accurate, and don't just believe me, because that's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to just educate you on what I've found and let you take it and run further with it. CryptoVin says, cryptographics, if people wanted to provide Icosa liquidity on Uniswap, what do you think would be the best pairs to do that? Well, for one, Icosa and Hex should be like one of the primary pairs. The reason for that is if Icosa is mainly paired to Hex, then that arbitrage opportunity that I mentioned before actually can come. And I'm gonna minimize the screen for a second here. If people want to provide Icosa liquidity, I personally think that Hex is an amazing pair, because when Icosa wants to go up, it's going to want to pull up Hex's price a little bit just due to Hart's law. But also, if Icosa is higher than price and all the liquidity is in that pair for Icosa and Hex, then that arbitrage opportunity, it could last longer. There's this more opportunity there maybe to make a profit. So personally, I think Hex is one of the more important ones. I think people will want to have a USDC pair. I mean, maybe not now because of all the stuff that's been coming out with USDC, but maybe let's say a stable coin. And Icosa Hedron pair would obviously be massively beneficial as well. But I honestly, Vince, I haven't thought about it too much. This is all off the cuff, so I could be completely wrong here on what makes the most sense. But off the cuff, that's kind of what I'm thinking, or what I'm leaning towards right now. Kaiser says, does it matter how many days the HSI stake is for the buyback contract? I guess 5555 is better. Yeah. With a Quattro Cinco or a 5555, you're getting a 10% bonus on whatever Icosa you would get. So the number of days in your HSI stake really does matter, actually. I want to do a small, or Rakesh Vasani says, I want to do a small $100 HSI for 5555 days to get Icosa. Will it be worth it? There's no way I can answer whether it will be worth it for you or not, but I think that there's a lot of potential, and $100 for 555 with that 10% bonus, if you stake it, it could do something for you, especially too, you're getting into a hyperinflationary period with Icosa. So while I can't tell you what might be worth it or not, I think that there's a lot of opportunity by participating in this ecosystem in the early days. Give me 1 second, guys. I need some water here. Yeah, I know my calculators don't like the number of zeros, which is cool because there's now only 5, which that's dope. We went from 6 to 5. Let's see. What do you think about Icosa Maxi? If you're talking about the pair, I don't know. I haven't thought about that, honestly. I really haven't thought much about it, but it could be something. I need to really think about it and, what makes the most sense. And quick shout out to Crypto Vince, man. Thank you for joining the YouTube memberships. Really appreciate that. You're awesome. And I can't wait to stream with you on tomorrow night, actually. Problem is the buyback price right now. I don't know what you mean by the buyback price right now. And guys, I think we've covered most of the walkthrough. I'm going to pause. Only 2 guarantees in life: death and taxes. I hate that you're right. I hate that Ben Franklin was right. But I think, guys, we're going to wind down the stream here. We're getting close to an hour, and I wanted to do a quick walkthrough, answer some questions. So I'm going to leave the next 15 or 20 minutes open if there are any questions on the walkthrough we've already gone through, on Icosa staking, Hedron staking, the Whatsa pool, any part of the Icosa platform that you're still not sure about. Now's the time to ask some questions while I'm still on here, and can make sure that they're answered and clear as mud for you. Also, I see Crypto Sloth in here. Brother, what's up, man? I hope you're doing well. Man, if you guys haven't followed Crypto Sloth yet on Twitter, and also subscribe to him on the YouTubes, then you definitely need to go do that. Go follow his name. The guy's killing it. He knows a ton on he's like one of the guys when it comes to Hedron and Icosa, at least in my opinion. I think in many people's opinions as well. Well, great question, Crypto Sloth. Glad you asked. Will Hedron and Icosa be copied on Pulse Chain? Yeah, buddy. Oh yeah. It'll be copied. Wes says, and based on the new IRS agents hired, death might be coming because of taxes. You're right, actually. Oh, we are all the sloth address. If you don't know what Whatsa actually stands for, it's we are all the sloth address. That's not the source address. It's the sloth address. Let's see. Daniel Polk says, buyback price when you buy Hex, convert to HSI, and then look at the value of the buyback. I'm going to have to look into that. Not sure. No, this is not a scam. This has been vetted by a lot of smart people and people that are far smarter than I am. And the Pulse Chain police have vetted it. It's good to go, my friend. When Lambo? Could be soon, could be a few years, could be 10 years. Depends, man. I don't know. I think more when McLaren's my tag, honestly. I'm in love with the McLarens. Also, I want to like buy an actual race car. There's these radical RXC 500s or the GT that's like a Le Mans car for the road. That or the Praga R1R. Those 2 cars, woo, for the track. So sick. No problemo, my friend. Hedron price is looking awesome. We're up to 26,907 with 5 zeros in front of it, which is a big old jump from where we've been. Let's see. Kaiser says, man, I'm excited about the staking. Can't wait. Almost forgot that Pulse Chain didn't launch. I know. It's kind of nice that we have this going on right now. I'm not forgetting that Pulse Chain hasn't launched, but it's kind of, put some wind in my sail for sure. The LP position will be copied over, but it'll also be drained. So careful with your LP position. If you're that guy who's providing LP or liquidity, you're going to get drained when Pulse Chain goes live. So just be careful. Let's see. Yeah. Hey, you want that 2JZ, man. I need to see a couple twin Garretts poking out of the hood of your Supra when you get it. That's what I want to see. Maybe convert it to an all-wheel drive and then strip it down so it's just like bucket seats, some Sparko seats, and take it on the drag strip. No, don't do that. Make it a track car. Make it a time attack. Slam it. Put a big wing on it. Like a massive wing. Anyways, we're not going to talk about cars right now because that's not the point of the stream. But I would love to have a car stream at some point just for fun. Now when G-Wagon. All great. I love them. G-Wagons are dope. Too expensive though, honestly, for what you're getting. I would rather, if I'm going to pay 500 grand or 200 or 300 grand, I'm going to want the thing to make me have an experience versus just like people look at me like, ooh, he's rich. But that's true also. The wealthy don't need to drive when chauffeur. Yeah, but the wealthy don't stay wealthy if they have a chauffeur unless they're extraordinary wealthy and their wealth works for them, which I wonder when Kia. Yeah, exactly. I love it. Okay, guys, I think we're getting a little sideways here on what we're trying to talk about. But yes, the MK4 Supra is sick. One of my all-time favorites. Also love the Subaru 22B and the R34, of course. So many amazing JDM cars. Mercedes SSK from 1938. Oh my, yeah. Okay, fair enough. G-Wagons for the tax write-off. All right, guys. Okay, last chance. Any other questions before we shut her down here so I can go and get some food and prepare for some other stuff here throughout the day and get that video out to you guys? I'm going to open it up to you. If you're still watching, thank you so much. We're at 99 likes. We've got 107 people in here. It'd be amazing to get us up over the 100 like number. And if you haven't already, guys, it would be awesome for you to stream or for you to tweet this out, share it on social media, smash the like. If you haven't already subscribed, I would really appreciate it if you would do that. If for whatever reason you still can't figure this out and you're like, I need to do it, there's two options. You can go to the Icosa Telegram group where there are a bunch of really smart, nerdy guys who are awesome and can educate you really, really well there. Go there, ask them all your questions. And if that still isn't the thing, or you just want to skip it and you want to talk to me directly, you can go to cryptographics.com and you can speak to me one-on-one. If you'd like to support the channel in other ways, you can join the YouTube memberships. You can donate. You can buy some merch. But again, all this is only if you want to support the channel. Not asking for you to go ahead and do it, only if you feel obliged. And I'm seeing everyone coming in and just saying, awesome stream, great, thank you. So we're going to close down the stream, guys. Thank you all for being here. I love you all. I can't wait to see you guys in the next one tomorrow night because we're doing a game theory stream and it's going to be sick. You're going to want to pay attention to that. And you're going to want to watch it because there's going to be some serious alpha, as the word has been getting tossed around, tomorrow night. So have a great rest of your day, guys. I hope you enjoyed the stream and I will talk